I want to tell you about something that my 17-year-old son said to me a few months ago. But first, let me tell you the backstory. So years ago, I'm a single mom. My older two kids are little. We're completely broke. We're on food stamps. We're sharing a small bedroom. I'm depressed, blah, blah, blah. If you followed my page for any amount of time or read my book, you know my whole story. And during this time, I had a friend who worked at a coffee shop, and he asked his manager if the muffins and bagels and all those pastries that they throw away when they get stale, if he could bring them to me, because they weren't moldy or poisonous or anything, they were just stale. And the manager agreed. So once a week, my friend Dave would show up with a little paper bag, I can still picture it, filled with stale baked goods. And so there were many mornings where my kids and I would eat those for breakfast. And there were even some evenings where we would eat them for dinner. And it was one of those things that I was so thankful for, but I also felt shame about. I felt shame that I wasn't able to provide better for my children. You know, I'm sure their friends weren't eating stale pastries. And it's so easy to look back and feel like a failure and feel that I was inadequate. So back to a few months ago, I'm driving with my 17-year-old, and I can't remember what we were talking about, but he says, "Mom, remember when we were broke and we ate all that stale food?" And I'm like, yes. I mean, I was kind of surprised that he even remembered that time. And I'm thinking, great, here we go. He's gonna tell me one more way I've screwed him up. But he says, "You know what's funny? To this day, I love stale pastries. Like, my friends will make fun of me because I will eat the stalest bread, and I love it." And he has this huge smile as he's telling me this story. And I'm thinking, wow, like all this time, I felt like maybe I was failing my kids at that time, but he doesn't feel like he was deprived in any way. He doesn't look at me as a failure for that time in my life. And in a weird way, he actually has this fond memory of it. It's hard sometimes when you're in the midst of those struggles, because in the moment, kids will complain, right? And they'll compare to what others have, just like we so-called grown-ups do. But in the long run, they don't remember those moments as our failures. So my point is, we are so tough on ourselves, and we beat ourselves up over every little thing, and we worry that we are in some way ruining our children or depriving them, and we're not. We're always focusing on the negative, right? The area where we feel like we're lacking. And it doesn't just have to be financially, it can be emotionally. Am I making the right decision? Am I present enough? Am I making too many mistakes? If we love our children, if we genuinely care, if we are showing up for them, if we're doing the best we can with what we've got, then we are not failing. And they might even remember some of those things we remember with guilt and shame. They might remember those things with some fondness.